Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC 312 Duplessis versus Strickland 2. We back with another recap of a card that was the best way I've heard someone describe it since last night was forgettable. I think that's a perfect description for this card. Forgettable. Was there things I will remember? Very little. But overall, this card was forgettable. 3 finishes in 12 fights. One of those decisions where it was a draw. And very few fights on a card in general, decision or not, were good. So, like, it was forgettable. Would you rather have a card be forgettable or bad? That's a good debate. Because I guess forgettable is better than bad. Because a bad card you remember for it being bad. A forgettable card, you kind of just, yeah, it happened. And then when you go back to look at it, like, oh yeah, I do remember that. It's not something you'll remember just off rip. But when you go back to this card, let's say in 2 months when we look back at 312, we're at the end of the year. We'll be like, oh yeah, 312. Instead of, oh god, 312. Maybe that's just me. It was forgettable. Now I'll stop saying forgettable now. Well, that's just what this card was. A few good moments, a few fun fights, but overall, either the fights were bad or boring. So, which we know which one of those two is worse. So, probably still a little bit better of a card than what we thought it was going to be going into it, because a lot of people were not being nice to this card, calling it the worst pay-per-view in years, yada 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 yada. Which on paper it was. On paper, this card was fucking dreadful. But in execution, I would say it's a little bit better than we gave it, than we hyped it up to be. We hyped it up. We thought it was going to be awful, and in overall execution, it was a card. Better than Strickland and Drake's first card, but that's a very low bar to jump over. So, hey, the best Strickland card since Adesanya, and that was a year and a half ago now. So, what does that tell you? What it tells me is, I just don't really not very much to say. And I'll talk about the elephant in the room. I'm sorry this video is coming out a day, a little bit later on Sunday. I wanted to record last night, but man, the card was just fucking draining. I was struggling to stay awake at times, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not even trying to be funny. I was struggling to stay awake watching this at times. It was that bad. It's Jesus, and then the card ends, it's already fucking 2 in the morning here, and I really don't just have a lot to say about this card. I'll still talk for an hour and a half about it, but shit, whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry this is coming out a little bit later on Sunday, but better to come out later than never, right? Probably not for my videos, but I don't know. What I do know is I'm done yapping and lapping and blah 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 blah. I'm going to finally just get into this recap, because I don't have a lot to say. So, I don't got a lot I want to say. So, let's just get into this and see how long this takes. So, before we do, God, I'm already tired talking about this card again. Before I get into the recap, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs the goal by the end of 2025. And unless for me to say something, which I don't believe I am, you ready to recap some fights? I'm not, but we got it. So, 12 fights in Sydney, Australia. Hey, this card happened on Sunday afternoon. I'm recapping it on Sunday afternoon. Kind of poetic, right? UFC 312. Recap. You ready? I am. Let's do it. we'll start on the early prelim portion of the card, the best portion of the card, which is insane to say, but was the truth. As in our first fight of the night in the lightweight division, maybe one of the funniest fights of the night, if not the funniest, because God, this could not go any more perfect. And then our first fight of the night, we began in the lightweight division with Quillan Salkilld versus Anshul Jubli. Well, this could not have went any more fucking funny or perfect. I don't got a lot of recap here. The fight started, they threw a few shots that really didn't do a lot, and then Quillan just threw a right hand cross that landed perfectly on Jubli's fucking head, dropped him, he covered up for a few seconds, and the ref stopped the fight. Pretty simple. One punch, hitter quitter, baby. And that's all Salkilld needed to get Jubli out there in 19 seconds. Wow. Somehow, how did Jubli get worse? How did he get worse? God damn, man. Like, how? I'll talk about the elephant on this fight. Was it an early stoppage? I don't think so. Jubli laid there for like a solid 3 seconds after getting hit. It's like, dude, are you gonna get up or just lay there in the fetal position? So, and let's say he didn't stop the fight. What was gonna happen? He's gonna take Jubli was just gonna take a bunch of punches until he did stop it. Jubli was done. We know Jubli's done. He shouldn't even be in there. He's awful. And I think the ref just saved him from more of an ass beating. So, that's what I think. Not really much I can say about a 19-second fight, so yeah, pretty easy night in the office for Salkilld. First night in the office for Salkilld, so yeah, pretty quick and easy. Not really much else to say. Jubli's ass somehow got worse, and Salkilld looked great. Quick, easy fight. Not much to say. To talk about the fighters real quick, I don't got much more to say here because we didn't really see much of either of them. For Salkilld, the dude's good. The dude's pretty good. I get he did this versus Anshul Jubli, who is maybe the worst lightweight on the roster, if not one of the worst fighters on the roster. But it's how fucking he did his job. He got fed a tomato can, and he squashed him like a bug. As you should. Quick, easy. As it should be when you're fighting Anshul Jubli. I think Quillan's an interesting prospect. We'll see how he does in his next fight against a real fighter. And, yeah, he had good power in his hands, so we learned that. So, good job. I don't got much to say. It took you 19 seconds to kill Anshul Jubli. Good job. You should be doing that. This is the type of performance these prospects should have when you're fighting tomato cans. Like, this is what I expect to see when this 9-0, 10-0, minus 900 favorite prospect fights the fucking 1-2 tomato can coming off a fucking loss. You know? Good job, Salkilld. You did your job. And for Jubli, what do you want me to say? He is a fucking pathetic excuse for a fighter, and it's time to cut him. You should have cut him after the Mike Breeden fight, because that was already the most laughable, the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. Now he goes out there and does this. Bye-bye. See ya, Jubli. GFO, PFO, fucking wherever the fuck you want to go fight. They could use a fucking punching bag. So, bye, bitch. Not really much else to say there. The only thing left I will add is who should they fight next. A lot of fucking young debuting fighters on this card, so I don't know if I'm going to find many fight ideas, since it's usually a real pain in the ass to do that for guys in their debuts or going into their second fights, but I'll still try because it just seems fair to do that. For Salkilld, he should get a step up in competition. Like, I don't think you can get a step down per se. He did just fight fucking Anshul and Jubli, so I don't know if you can get a step down. But he definitely should get like a little bit of a jump up. Who should that be against? Maybe Abdul Karim Al Sawadi. That seems like a fair step up. Not really seeing anyone else that interesting. So far, Al Sawadi is looking like the best option. When I go back down to the bottom, because after a while we're gonna hit a point where it's like too high. Austin Hubbard, that's almost a step. That's not really a step up in my opinion. Natan Levy. And now I think we're getting kind of too high for him for a second fight. Cause you gotta be slow with it, you know. You can't just throw him in there with goddamn the top dogs and well, even not top dogs, but like you can't just push the guy to the fucking moon. The UFC has done that too many times, and they fucking killed prospects doing that bullshit. So yeah, Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, or I guess Bellato would be a fun fight with him coming off his L. But that's like, even that's kind of a tough fight for Salkilld, and they probably want to get Oki back on track because they probably still have a little faith in Oki. So I don't know. I'm not really seeing a lot of great options here for Salkilld. So maybe something better will come up. But right now, I'm just nothing's really jumping out at me. So you can only go up from here. Hopefully, I don't know, if they can find someone worse than Anshul and Jubli, that's impressive. So, but out of everything I got a fight idea from, the best I could find is Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, and even that's like, I doubt they really want to try and end Sawadi's UFC run that quickly. They usually don't do that. They usually give these contender series guys 2 fights. If you lose 2 fights, then they'll use you as cannon fodder. So usually some guys only 1. Look at Cameron Simon. What the fuck they've been doing with that poor guy since he fucking lost. But that's a different story. The main story here is great debut for Salkilld. Can't have more of a flawless victory than that. And who should he fight next? I really don't know. I really don't got an idea for him. Just not really a lot coming to mind. So probably gonna be the story of a lot of these guys on the card, because they'll get a lot of debuting young guys. And yeah, outside of that, not really much else to say. Great debut for Salkilld. Jubli, you're fucking awful. See you on the fucking regional scene, you bum bitch. And great debut for Salkilld. As easy as it gets. No fight idea as of right now. Let's see what the UFC gives them next. After that, we go to our second fight of the night, and the part of the card where everything started to go wrong on picks for, I'm guessing, a lot of people. As in our second fight of the night in the welterweight division, we head up 15 pounds to see Jonathan Micallef, I think that's how you say it, Micallef, versus Kevin Jousset. Our first of many decisions tonight, and this one was actually pretty good though, so compared to some other ones later, this one was actually pretty good. This was a very good fight, a pretty unexpected performance and fight here, and really good, really entertaining. Really good debut for Micallef. For the first 10 minutes, Micallef just beat the shit out of Jousset. My bad. Kicked the shit out of Jousset, because that's the right term to use. Because this dude just could not stop throwing kicks, and they were working. He threw leg kicks. He really threw body kicks. He dropped Jousset with a head kick. Like, Micallef just fucking kicked the shit out of Jousset badly. And then round 3, Micallef did slow down, and Jousset did take over that round, winning it, but too little, too late, and Micallef easily wins a clear 28 decision to get the win in his UFC debut. Yeah, great shit by Micallef. Like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, because this was not the guy we saw in Contender Series, but good shit. Against Kevin Jousset, that's impressive. That's impressive. What a debut for Micallef. Like, I did not expect to see the king of fucking kicking come out. Like, cause this dude just could not stop throwing kicks, and it worked. That's the crazy part. He just threw kicks, head, body, legs, and it worked. It really worked. So, good for him, man. Great debut for Micallef, looking like a real good fucking prospect. And again, to do this against Kevin Jousset in your debut, that's impressive. Not very much to say about the fight. Good fight. One of the few good ones that did go to decision. Great. I can't say much else. A great performance by Micallef. He looked like a different fighter. So, trust me, this is if we saw this dude on the Contender Series, he would have probably been a pretty big favorite in this fight. So, great debut for Micallef, and kicked the shit out of him is an understatement. Besides that, not very much to say about the fight, so let's talk about the fighters real quick. Obviously, we'll start with Micallef, because again, a completely different guy than we saw in the Contender Series. This dude's good. This dude's fucking good. If we can get this guy more often in the cage, he's going to be a problem. His cardio looks pretty good for the first 10 minutes. His kicks are really good. Like, we know he has a ground game. This guy could be a problem. Like, he came out of nowhere. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he's good. Like, this is not the guy we saw in Contender Series at all. This is not the guy who got KO'd by a fucking 8-3 guy a year ago. This guy's good. And I'm excited to see Micallef fight more after this debut. Because, again, he's fucking good. So, 25 years old, 8-1. Keep looking like this, and he's gonna be a real fucking prospect. He's gonna be joining the ranks of your Brian Battles, your fucking Chaos Williams, your fucking Carlos Prates very, very quickly if he keeps fighting like this. What a debut. What a debut. And then talk about Kevin Jousset, a guy who was in that category of prospect for a second, and now has kind of fallen back down to earth. Yeah. This guy's getting unlucky. I feel like the UFC really did try and give him a win here, to be honest, and he just got the shit kicked out of him. And now he's 2-2. Like, and those 2 losses, Brian Battle and Micallef, those are some great fucking losses. They're still losses. Like, shit, you can have the best losses in the world, they're still L's, you know? And his 2 wins are not against high-level competition. So, back to drawing board for Jousset. He probably gets a layup in his next fight. Like, I could see them giving him a complete can on the next Paris card. Like, I could see him on the fucking second fight of the prelims fighting fucking, Tim Means or some bullshit. So they're gonna probably give him a layup, or they're gonna give him another really tough prospect and say fucking win or get cut. So we're gonna find out. I know usually I'm the one who jumps to call someone a fraud, but I don't think Jousset's a bad fighter. He's just fighting guys who are better fighters. Like, is there really any fucking problem with losing to Brian Battle, who's on a fucking tear right now, or Micallef, who just had a great debut and who knows how far he can go. In a year or so, we could be looking at this saying, oh yeah, those are some bad losses. But rather right now, those could be two of the best unranked guys in the division. So I'll give Jousset one more fight. If he loses again, you gotta cut him. And he was a fraud, but I'm not gonna call him a fraud yet. I'll give him one more chance. So, one more chance. See how he does. Hopefully they more than likely give him a layup, or close to it. Or they give him another tough fight. And we'll see what the UFC thinks. He is a city kickboxing member, so you know they're gonna be generous to him more than likely. So let's see, man. Let's see. Not very much else to say. Jousset's on his back's against the wall now. Gotta win the next one. Aside that, not really anything else to say about the fighters or the fight. So let's get to our last portion of the recap. Fight ideas. Same thing I said with Salkilld, same thing I'll say for a lot of the guys on this card. I don't know if I'm going to have a fight idea for him since he is going into his second UFC fight after this, so we'll see, but maybe, you never know. He actually beat a pretty decent fighter here, unlike Salkilld, so might be a little more leeway when giving him a fight idea. But who would that leeway be? That didn't make sense. Hmm. Not really anyone jumping out at me from this page. Like Sultan Boyev and Anshul are not bad, but like Johnny Parsons ain't bad, but just not really a lot of great options here, in my opinion. Like, no one really jumping out as like the next fight for Micallef. Might just be a case, like I said, most of these, it's not easy giving a fucking guy a fight idea after his debut, because who knows what the UFC is gonna view him as. So it's kinda just a fucking throw dart at the board and see, so just not really seeing any great options here, so probably just gonna throw my hands up again and say, well, let's see what the UFC does with him. I think he deserves a pretty decent fight, of course. No one crazy, you're not going to throw him in there with goddamn Salkilld or goddamn someone like who's close to the top 15, but he definitely deserves a pretty decent fight, in my opinion, after beating Kevin Jousset in your debut, which is a pretty decent debut win as a big underdog, no less. So, and looking as good as he did, so let's see what the UFC does with Micallef. I don't know how you could not be impressed with that performance. One of the best debuts of the year so far. And let's see what the UFC does with him. And with Jousset, because they could either give him a layup or give him a tough fight. We're gonna find out. But besides that, good fight. Really good debut for Micallef. Really impressive performance against a tough debut opponent like Jousset. And I really no idea who he fights next. Again, pretty tough thing to do for a debuting guy going into their second fight. So we'll see what the UFC does with him. And outside of that, not very much else to say. Let's see what's next for the captain. A lot of captains. MVP, Micallef. I guess that's the trend right now. Johnson, Micallef, after a great debut where he kicked the shit out of Kevin Jousset. And now for our featured early prelim, a fucking shocking banger. One of the fucking, maybe the best fight on the card. You can make a case for this and one of the fights on the main card. This got 5 tonight though, so what does that tell you? As in our featured early prelim, we head to lightweight, we go back to lightweight, my bad, for a banger a shocking banger and a giant upset, as in our featured early prelim. We ended the EPs with a banger between Rongzhu versus Kody. Steele, whatever. Wow, what a fucking fight this was, and what an upset. For 15 minutes, these two threw down and fucking had a banger. At one, I think it was in round 1, Kody rocked Rongzhu pretty badly. He taunted him, and then a few seconds later, Kody got rocked right back. At the end of the fight, they did the hallway Gaethje point to the ground and swang. It was awesome. It was a fucking amazing fight, and Fight of the Night definitely deserved it. Definitely this and the Bellato fight definitely could have both been Fight of the Night. This was great. This was fucking awesome. Shockingly awesome, and what a fight. What a fight. Yeah, I know 30-27 doesn't look like it was that good of a fight, but it was a great fight that Rongzhu was able to clearly win. So, great shit. Great fight. I can't really fucking give it. I can't give it. I can't. Me talking about it can't give it justice. You just have to go watch it for yourself. It was a banger. One of the best fights of the year so far. I know we're only 4 cards in, but take what you can get. And truly a great fight. Really, really great fight between two dudes who were willing to fight. Rongzhu wanted to fight. Kody Steele did try a few takedowns, but when that didn't work, he just said, "Fuck it, we ball and brawl," and that's what they did. They fought, bit down the mouthpiece, and had a banger for 15 minutes. And the underdog, Rongzhu, pulled out the W. Wow, what a fight! Can't really say anything else. What else can you say about a banger? Again, I can't do it justice. Just go watch it. Go watch it. Outside of that, don't really have much else to say. I got my lock of the night wrong. Again, 1-3 now to start 2024. Thank you, Muhammad Naimov, for winning last week. I should have just like with fucking, a few, what was it, the fucking Duran Hebos card, I should have just went the easy pick of Salkilld. But no, I gotta try and be fucking creative. Dumbass. Great win for Rongzhu. God damn you, Kody, for fucking up my lock. To now 1-3. And, great fight. To talk about each fighter real quick, with Rongzhu. This is the best he's ever looked, in my opinion. In a fight where pretty much he was getting fed to the wolves, to one of the UFC's new little passion projects, and he comes out here and looks amazing. Like, I think he even looked better here than he did against Brandon Jenkins, because Kody Steele is better than Brandon Jenkins. If we can get this Rongzhu more often, might be a real fucking prospect. He's only 24 years old, which is fucking amazing, and he's good. He looked good here. I don't know if he'll continue looking this good, because who knows, but for this fight, he was good. We'll see if he keeps it up. I have my doubts. Depending on who he fights next, we'll see if I'm fading him or picking him. But for this fight, on this night in Sydney, he looked good. I think he went to City Kickboxing. I think he had Eugene Behrman in his corner. That could be interesting. His first fight with Eugene in the corner, he looks this good. Rongzhu might be a fucking prospect, man. He might be a good prospect. We're gonna find out. Great win for the somehow 24-year-old, 26-6 Rongzhu, shutting me up. That's alright. That's an understatement, but it seems like a lot of fighters have been doing that lately. God damn it. Great win for Rongzhu. And then to talk about Kody Steele, I'm not gonna say he got fraud checked. I don't think he got fraud checked. Because he did put up a good fight. He showed heart. He showed fucking striking ability. He just fought a better, more developed striker in his 8th career fight in his UFC debut. So, when he's only been doing MMA for... When the fuck did he start MMA? Like 2 years ago? In 2022. So, like, give him time. He's 29 years old. I think he'll be back. I don't think... I know I said in the breakdown I gave him a lot of hype. I think he'll probably be a decent fighter. I don't think he's going to be top 15 or anything. But I think he'll be decent if he develops and he learns from this fight. I think he'll be decent, and I think he'll be decent. I think he'll be a decent fighter. Get his striking up, get some better takedown entries, and I think Kody could be good. Not gonna call him a fraud, like I said, because he did look good in this fight. Like, I want to compare this fight to Rinya Nakamura and Muim Gafurov, but I think Kody actually put up a fight, something Rinya Nakamura did not do. So, and again, Kody fought back. He didn't go full coward mode and just spam takedowns. When he couldn't get the takedown, he said, "Fuck it, we're gonna fight," and he did. So he earned my respect there for doing that. So I think he'll be back. The UFC will probably give him a nice layup in his bounce back fight. And yeah, great fight. Would have been nice to get my lock of the night right, but it seems like a running theme. Again, Muhammad Naimov can do it. You can't. Whatever. Great debut for Cody Steele. A learning lesson for him. A learning experience for him, I should say. And I think the kid, I'm not going to call him a fraud. I think that would be silly after a fight of the night. You know you had a good fight if an early prelim can get 5 of the night. That's impressive. Or how shit the card was. Debatable. Good debut for Kody, even with the loss, and I think he'll be back better from this. Only thing I have to say now is who should they fight next? For Rongzhu, I might actually be able to give him a fight idea since he's not a debutant. And we know what the UFC wants to do with him. I think he deserves a pretty good fight after this. Beating Cody Steele, the hyped up fucking wrestler, grappler, whatever, in his debut, and a 5 of the year candidate. I think he deserves a pretty decent fight. Who would that be? We'll see. Jordan Levitt, maybe. That'd be a logical step up, in my opinion. I think Trey Ogden's probably still injured for a while, so who knows with him. And did I not just give Jordan Levitt a fight idea? I feel like I did. Never a little Aliev. Oh yeah, I said Aliev should fight Levitt. Yeah, we can stick with that. Claudio Puelles, maybe. Yeah, I don't want a Claudio Puelles fight. I think that would be a good step up for Rongzhu. Like, after beating Cody Steele. Yeah, I might go Puelles, who's kind of been dormant as of late. Unless I'm not really seeing much better. Like Trey Ogden, but he's injured, and yeah, I think the Puelles fight is a little better. Like Jordan Levitt, you can do that if he doesn't fight Nurullo Aliev, or if Aliev doesn't fight Levitt. But I think I like that Claudio Puelles fight. I doubt they do that. I doubt they give him that big of a jump up. But I like it. Fuck it, Claudio Puelles and Claudio Puelles. English. A lot of fucking hard names. Claudio Puelles versus Rongzhu. I like it. I think Zhu has earned that type of fight, so let's give him it. Zhu versus Puelles. Book it. And then for Steele, like I said, you'll probably give him a pretty easy layup in his next one to get back on track. I could see him fighting Roosevelt Roberts or fucking someone along those fucking lines. So, yeah. Someone along those lines. Not very much else to say about this fight. What a banger. 5 of the night for a reason. I would give 5 of the night to Bellato, but I get why this got it. These two deserve it just as much, and if not more, for having a banger on the early prelims. And who should Rongzhu fight next? I like the idea of him, Claudio Puelles. I think that's a pretty decent fight. As of right now, maybe I'll change my opinion. I still got a few hours till I do fight ideas. You should drop at 6:30 on a Sunday, but we'll see. If it's still Rongzhu, fuck, versus Cody Puelles. But as of right now, I think that's a good fight idea. So, book it. Outside of that, great fight, great debut for Steele, even with a loss. Great upset for Rongzhu. Did you shoot wrong? Whatever. And great fight, boys. You deserve that fight of the night. Well, the best part of it, and that's the best part of the card over. The early prelims. What a banging early prelims. A 19-second KO, a fun debut, of upset debut, and then a fight of the year contender. That's one of the best early prelims in a while. So, good job. They made the most of their what would be the best fucking phrase to say? They made the most of nothing. They got put on the early prelims early in fucking Sydney, Australia, so a lot of people are not gonna be there, and they made the most of it. Good job, boys. Great early prelims. All 5 of these guys had a great Jubli. You suck, but these 5, respect. Thank you for great early prelims, the best portion of the card. Because then we go into the worst portion of the card. Oh, Christ. I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. This is where a lot of time is going to be saved on this, because I don't really want to talk about any of these fights, but I guess I have to. So, well, I guess I don't have to, and I'm not going to for some of them, but let's just get into this. The worst portion of the card, the prelims. God, so boring. Let's get into it. Early prelims done. Let's start the real prelims. And we begin with the debut battle. That was actually kind of underwhelming. And then our first fight of the prelims in the bantamweight division. We began with Aleksandre Topuria versus Colby Thicknesse. This was weird. This was a really weird fight. I'll talk about what I was going to say in a second. So in round 1, not a lot happened. The biggest moment and the thing that gave Topuria round 1, he did clip Colby a good bit that did hurt him a little bit, and then to end the round he did suplex him. So in a round that not a lot happened. That will give you the round. In round 2, Colby came out and looked pretty good after the little bit of damage he took to end round 1. He had a lot of nice volume, even if it was kind of hurting him more than anything. And I thought he was able to take round 2 since Topuria just kind of did nothing. The UFC stats are going to pretend he landed 21 strikes when I don't even think he threw that many in the round. So I had it 1-1 going into the third. Let me bring this up over here. And then in round 3, Thicknesse did the dumbest fucking thing possible. He shot a takedown early and got reversed, and Topuria just laid on him for like 4 minutes. And that was that. 29-28 Topuria is how it should have been scored, but the judges are fucking biased. And I think Bedtime MMA said best. Fucking Aura, or whatever, Aura scoring. His last name's Topuria, gotta give him the round. I think they gave fucking Ilya round 1 versus Max when he clearly lost. So, what does that tell you? But I had 29-28. Does it really matter? No. Thicknesse fucked himself and lost round 3. So, not like winning round 2 would have mattered anyway. Topuria wins, Volk loses again, and he just can't beat Topuria. Okay, to talk about the few problems I had with this fight, the first one being, where the fuck did UFC stat guys get these fucking stats? Topuria did not land as many strikes as they said. He literally just fucking walked around the cage and threw really nothing. I swear to God, like, when they brought up the stats, like, in round 1, it was like 8 to 20 for fucking Topuria having 20. It's like, huh? And then round 2, he had 21 strikes. No, the fuck he didn't. I don't think he landed 21 strikes in the whole fight. Like, I don't get where they got these fucking stats from. Like, I'm not saying Topuria didn't win. He did. But we gotta stop pretending like he was fucking an output monster. Thicknesse was, I describe the fight like this, and I think it's the perfect way to describe. I think even they said it on commentary to an extent. Thicknesse was throwing too much to where he couldn't really throw a good shot, and Topuria was not throwing anything. That's why he lost round 2. Thicknesse was actually throwing a lot, not landing it, but shit, better than what Topuria was doing, which was just stumbling forward. Like, I don't get where they got these stats from. Like, there's no way Topuria land. You can rewatch that fight. For the first 2 rounds, he's really doing nothing. If I swear the only shot he actually landed was that one that hurt Thicknesse at the end of round 1. Outside that, he didn't do anything. So, I don't get it. I don't get these stats that they fucking pretend happened, and that really bugged me, cause I've never seen the stats like be blatant lies. So, like, I've seen him pretend not to count a takedown that was clearly a takedown, but I've never seen him add punches. So, I don't get it. But whatever, not like it really affected the fight much anyway. Topuria clearly won the first and third. So, and then the other elephant, are these guys actually that good UFC level? Thicknesse, I don't think so. I'll give him one more fight. Like, he showed some decent things. He has a good cardio, he has like a lot of output, but he really doesn't set up good punches that could, even if they do land, are going to do damage. And his fight IQ's pretty bad. His grappling ain't great. So, it's definitely some pros and cons in his game. And then Topuria is... yeah, he beat a 7-0 guy, but how good is that 7-0 guy? Not great in my opinion. I still don't know how good he really is. I don't think he's a complete can. I do think he's better than a lot, like, compared to a lot of the other siblings we've seen in the UFC. Francisco Figueiredo, Antonino Shevchenko, Herbert Burns. I think he's way better than those people, but I still don't know if he's UFC level. We're gonna find out, because clearly Colby Thicknesse is not, but we'll see if Topuria, we'll see if because they'll probably boost him up the rankings pretty fucking fast, so we'll see, man. We'll see. Besides that, not a great fight, kind of frustrating to watch because a lot of factors, the pretend stats, Thicknesse just being stupid, and shit like that, but it was still kind of interesting, and we got to see how good Ilya's brother is. Better than I expected. Still don't know if he's not just a can crusher. We'll wait and find out. Not very much else to say, like, about the fight. Like I said, I talked about each fighter. Like, we'll see if Aleksandre is really just a can crusher. I was not super impressed. I still think he would have lost to Kody Haddon. And then Colby Thicknesse is a fucking idiot. So, I don't think he's going to be in the UFC for long. Give him one more fight, but I thought he looked fucking bad. He's just stupid decision making, weird striking decisions. Not impressed. Outside that, let's get to the last portion. Fight idea. Again, I think Topuria is gonna get shot up the rankings. I don't think he's gonna get, like, super boosted to, like, a fucking crazy big fight, but I think he's going to get a pretty decent fight. With who? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be feeding him Cody Garbrandt, but maybe, who fucking knows. I don't think they want to rebook that fight. He has to fight Gaston Bolanos, right? Like, he has to fight Gaston Bolanos. Like, the fight, I think he has to fight Bolanos. I think the memes are right fucking there. I think you gotta do that fight. I'm down to see that. Because Bolanos looks just like Ilya. Fuck it, you gotta do that. Bolanos, Topuria, book it. The memes, bro. We need the memes clenched. Bolanos versus Topuria, book it. the memes need to be fucking clenched. So, it's like Bogdan Glushkov and Anthony Smith, the memes are more important. But, yeah, outside of that, I really don't got much else to say. Not impressed with either guy here. Topuria's a question mark. Thicknesse does not look to be very good. But we'll give him another fight for both of them. And hopefully we'll find out more over time. So, not very much else to say. The fight I was second most hyped for on the card. Kind of disappointing, but it was a low-level fight as expected. Two debut guys who combined had, what, fucking 9 wins or no, 12 wins, my bad. And, against very low-level competition, so what do you expect? A low-level fight is what you got, so, yeah. Not very much else to say. Fine debut for Topuria, but I want to see more, and not a great debut for Thicknesse. I want to see better fight IQ and decision making. So, and I want to see him slow down. I get you want to keep throwing strikes, but you gotta. If again his strikes got at you, if they do land, they have no power. So maybe throw less to do more damage. Like, dude, you're trying to fucking Volk. How the fuck does Volk not tell you the shit? Whatever. Interesting fight, low-level fight, not amazing, but what you could have expected, and let's see how far these guys can go. Let's see Topuria versus Bolanos for the memes, and, yeah, not very much else to say. After that, we go to the first of 2 fights back-to-back. I'm not going to say a lot on because I don't give a fuck. These fights were terrible. And then our second fight of the prelims, we had to flyweight for a boring-ass fight between Cong, Wang. I'm not saying Wang, Tong, or whatever the fuck how you say it. There's no T. It's Cong, Wang. We're stupid Americans. We don't care. Versus Bruna, Brazil. Not gonna waste time here for 15 minutes. Bruna Brazil just fucking walked around the cage at Cong Wang for no reason. Legit, for like 2-3 minutes, Bruna started off kind of decently, really doing nice leg kicks, and then she just stopped fighting. No, not a single takedown. Cong Wang got 2 takedowns. Bruna didn't even try one. Fucking... Wang didn't have to do anything. Bruna just fucking... She went full Strickland and threw less than Strickland. She just played defense simulator. She didn't throw anything. It was one of the most pathetic things I've ever fucking seen. So... I don't know what you want me to say. It's one of the most pathetic performances of the year so far, and that says a lot. Maybe the most. She didn't do anything. So, I'm not gonna waste time on a fight where one of the people didn't even fight. So, I still think Cong Wang's a fraud. Bruna just didn't fight her. For whatever reason, I don't know, but that's all I gotta say. I still think Cong Wang's a fraud. And Bruna, Kaio, kick her out the fucking gym. Like, the fighting nerds clearly need to stop trying with female fighters, because her and Mayra Bueno Silva are ass. Stick to the guys. You're good there. Females, nada. Not much else to say. Cong Wang, I still don't think is good. Bruna Brazil is a fucking joke. You can make the case for getting cut. I would not complain. And, about all I gotta say there. Boring. Fraud. Next. Speaking of boring frauds, Tom Nolan. Boy. Not gonna waste any more time here. It's our third fight of the prelims, our co-main event of the prelims. Just as boring, just as shitty. Tom Nolan versus Viacheslav Borshchev. If Viacheslav Borshchev loses a fight, you know why. Because the opponent was scared to fight him. And that's exactly what happened here. Nolan became a coward wrestler, cuddled Slava when they were striking. Neither guy really did anything. And overall, it was a boring fight. You could give Slava the last 2 rounds. I wouldn't be upset if you did, but they didn't, and no shocker. And, yeah, this fight sucked ass. So, how did 2 fucking KO artists, is that how you would say it, plural, go 15 minutes? I don't fucking know. But that's what happened. Same thing as Pavlovich and Jorginho. Why are KO guys fighting and not getting knocked out? Make it make sense. But I'm not gonna try and make it make sense because I don't care. Shitty fight. Shitty fighter, Tom Nolan. Slava, we know what he's good at. Kickboxing, we know what he's not good at. Getting cuddled. And we still love Slava because he's awesome. Nolan, you still are a bum-ass fraud who's going to get killed by anyone you can't just cuddle or KO by pure luck. And Slava, keep doing your thing, man. We all love you. Boring, shitty, garbage. Next. And I guess this was okay. Our last prelim, our featured prelim, whatever you would like to say. This was okay. The best of the four, but that's a low bar, and even this wasn't that good. And then our featured prelim, we had Gabriel Santos versus Jack Jenkins. An okay fight. It was okay. A few moments at least to remember. In round 1, Jenkins head kicked Santos, knocking him down. Kind of same thing. Micallef did, I mean, versus Jousset. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, I just gave up scoring. I didn't give a fuck. So that's cool. And then round 2, Santos just cuddled Jenkins for 5 minutes, or however long it felt, like 10 minutes. And then round 3, it was kind of a close fight. It was 1-1, but then Santos landed a front kick because he's getting good at those. Dropped Jenkins, eventually got on his back and locked in the rear naked choke. Tap, and it's over. Woo. It was okay. Like, again, easily the best prelim from these 4. Still can't touch any of the first. Yeah, still can't touch any of the early prelims, but compared to these 3, it was pretty decent. And at least I can remember a few highlights from it, more than I can say for Slava and fucking Bruna, Brazil. So it was okay, but I still not. It was a fun fight between 2 mid fighters. I still don't think much of either of these guys. And until I'm proven otherwise, I'm gonna stick by that idea. So, 2 mid-ass fighters. That's about all I can say, man. About all I can really fucking say. At least I can remember a few highlights. I'll give them that much. A lot of head kicks tonight. But that's about all I gotta say about the fight. It was okay. To talk about the fighters real quick. Start with Gabriel Santos. I'm still not super high on this dude. Like, I get he beat Lerone Murphy in his debut, but I don't know, I'm KO still kinda, eh. And then I don't think much of Yeezaw and Jack Jenkins. So we'll see what Gabriel can do. He's not terrible, but I still don't think of him as great. I still don't think of him on the same level as even guys like fucking Steve Garcia, Chepe Mariscal, obviously David Onama, Billy Q, fucking Andre Feely. So we'll see if he can put himself in that category. I think he's on the same level as Padilla and Kyle Nelson and fucking Pat Sabatini. He's Jack Jenkins. He's fine, but I don't really think much of him. He's mid, and I think he's completely mid. Nice performance here, I guess, but you're not doing it against great fighters. And again, I get you beat Lerone Murphy, but come on. You've not done that great since, so we'll see what the kid can do. Not a bad performance, but not something, not amazing. And then for Jack Jenkins, I think we've kind of seen where Jack's ceiling is. A very mid fighter who can beat bad fighters, but not really guys who are really going to give him a test. Like, again, most people think he lost to Jamal Emmers, if you remember that fight. So, that kind of speaks for itself. He's not that great. He's, again, able to beat your Herbert Burns and Don Shanuses barely. But he's going to either struggle against a guy like Jamal Emmers or just lose to better fighters. So, we've seen, I think we've seen Jenkins hit his ceiling, and he is 31 years old. We've seen him hit his ceiling. He's not that great. and again, he's gonna either beat up cans or get beat like a can, it seems. So really has found his ceiling in the UFC. So yeah, about really all to say there. So not very much else to say about a mid-ass fighter. Only thing left to say is I guess I'll give Gabriel a fight idea because I guess he was the highlight of the prelims. So again, not a high bar, but fucking I'll be nice. If I feel like finding him a fight, if not, I'm not gonna take a long time. If I don't find anything, I don't find anything. Cause I just don't think I'm not really high on him like I guess a lot of people are. I think he's perfectly mid. Again, your wins lately have not been the most impressive, but I will try and give you a little bit of an idea because fuck it. Him and C-Rod would be interesting. But we know C-Rod's only gonna fight fucking undefeated prospects forever. Lima's a bantamweight. Maybe Sabatini. He's coming off a pretty nice performance. But I think him and Cal Nelson are probably still the fight to make. Like, yeah, like Juicy J, Nate the Train, like any of these guys are right here. JSP is right there. But I don't really, I think that's almost a step back at this point, fighting a 3-fight skid JSP. Do you really want to see Darren Elkins get beat up? I don't. So, I guess C-Rod would be the best option, but even then, I don't think that's really the best fight there, but it's Gabriel Santos. I don't really care. So, whatever. I really don't care. Maybe I'll look again before I do fight ideas, but overall, I could give a fuck, so, if you want me to be honest. So, yeah. Outside of that, not really much else to say. Easily the best fight of the prelims, not counting the early prelims, but again, very low bar. So, good job, Santos. You weren't the worst, but you weren't. Though you didn't piss me off completely, but you weren't great either. I guess that makes sense. It was a fight, few highlights, and that's that. Good win for Santos, I guess. Probably his best performance outside of beating Laurel Murphy and Jack Jenkins. We know you're mid. So, simple. Not very much else to say. Some nice head kicks. But, yeah, that was... Topology's fucking doing its own thing. That was the prelims. Was it great? No. The early prelims, fantastic. The prelims, this was rough to get through, and then this was okay, so I'd say 3 good prelims, 3 bad prelims, and 1 okay. So 3 good, 3 bad, and 1 okay. Still positive overall, but not by much. Thank you, early prelims. Now we move on from the pre's and pre-pre's and all that to the main card, which was a weird mix of... It was weird, a weird main card, a lot of moving pieces, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So let's not waste any more time. We're already an hour in, so let's talk about these moving pieces and what the fuck happened on pay-per-view. As we will begin in the welterweight division with the most normal part of the main card, as we began the main card with Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Yeah, this fight went exactly as I thought it would. Like, I'm not even trying to be, like, the smart guy, because I did shit on picks on this card, I won't even lie to you. But this fight went, like, to a T as I expected it would. God, verdict is fucking terrible, might I add. Why did y'all hype this up for years? This fight went, like, to a T what I thought it would happen. For 15 minutes, and I think I said in the breakdown, Nolan, for 15 minutes, Jake Matthews is going to fight smarter and win. And that's what he did. The only way Prado was going to win this fight is if he made it a crazy war, like a Gaethje Holloway swing fest, and he was able to land that knockout blow. He couldn't do that, and he didn't do that, and Jake just picked him apart for 15 minutes. It's your atypical Jake Matthews performance. If Jake Matthews wins a fight, it's 99% of the time going to be a decision that he wins just by being the smarter, more well-rounded, better fighter. And that's what this was. So, that's exactly what this fight was, to a T. This fight on paper looked fucking stupid from the second it was booked. And it went exactly as it should have. If you told me these two were fighting, I would expect it to go this exact way 10 out of 10 times. Because Jake's not going to bite down the mouthpiece and swing. He's going to fight at range, be the better fighter, and do that. And that's just gotten the feet. If he really wanted to, he could have probably took Prado down. I don't think he did once. So he just, in a skill for skill fight, which this is what that was, Prado's never going to win that fight against anybody, let alone Jake Matthews. So that's simple. It was the easiest, maybe the easiest pick on the card to make. It should have been the lock of the night, to be honest, in hindsight. It would, I think even Jubli was a harder fight to pick because I didn't really know what to expect from Salkilld. I knew what to expect here, and it went exactly as expected. So, yeah, it's the atypical Jake Matthews fight. If I had to show, if someone asked what Jake Matthews is like as a fighter, I'd just show him this fight. And it would explain everything he's done in his career, in my opinion. So, simple. As simple as it can fucking get. So, 30-27 Matthews, something we've heard 100 times, we'll probably hear 100 more. UFC gave him a layup here, and he won exactly how I knew he would. Simple. Not gonna say much about the fighters. Jake Matthews, this fight does not do a lot for him. I guess it's a 2-fight winning streak, but this win's kind of weird, because he should, you beat Fovro and you get a ginormous fight down. Really don't get that booking. Again, I thought the booking for this was stupid to begin with, let alone in execution where it was predictable as fuck. But UFC wanted Jake Matthews to get his second win in a row, and he did just like how he always does. So, somehow this man's been in UFC for 11 years, and he's only 30, but he's like the king of mid at welterweight. He's a fine fighter, but he's never going to be good enough to be a ranked guy. He's never going to be bad enough to lose to these lower level guys. That's simple. That's Jake Matthews in a nutshell. And then for Francisco Prado, I don't even get, this fight didn't even make sense for him at all, because Jake Matthews is not going to swing and bang with him. So why book him in a fight against someone who's not going to swing and bang with him? Which is the only way Prado's going to do his best work. So, I don't get what the UFC was thinking here. Prado should be fighting guys like... Prado should be fighting guys like Danny Barlow, or Jeremiah Wells, or Charles Ratke, who are gonna swing, I keep wanting to say swing and bang, which is not a phrase, swang and bang with him. Because that's what the Zellhuber fight was. And yeah, he lost, but that was his best performance in a loss. Malarkey fought smarter than him. Jake Matthews fought smarter than him. A Zaitar just ain't good. So, what you need to do, if you're going to book Francisco Prado, you do either one of two things. Against a fun fighter, like a Daniel Zellhuber, or a shit fighter with no chin that he can KO easily, like Atman Zaitar. So, you see my point? The way they're booked Prado, here, was just fucking stupid. So, and now if they cut him, they kind of just wasted the guy who could have had another fight of the night. And on a fight that went exactly as everyone knew it would, or if anyone knew it would, so... That's what I think. So, I hope they don't cut him. I think he does deserve one more fight, especially since it's only his first fight at welterweight. And he is only 22, he is young. You could easily give him a guy he can easily KO, but maybe the UFC just doesn't see a lot in him. I don't know. They don't have a lot of Argentinians, so you think they want to have as many as they can. Hell, they have two in the same division. You think you want to fucking try, and one's about to retire any fucking fight now. So, I just don't get why the UFC would do what they did here with Prado in a fight that really was just nothing good for him. But is what it is. we'll see what they do with Francisco. Either he gets cut, or he fucking gets one more fight that hopefully plays into his fucking strengths and not some weird ass feed him to Jake Matthews. So, whatever. All I have to say is, who should they fight next? For Jake Matthews, he did call out Neil Magny, which I'm shocked that fight hasn't happened before, but I don't know if that's the fight to do. There's probably better options. He has 1-2 in a row now. Him and Oban Elliott would be really fucking cool, to be honest. Ponzi. Hey! Actually, he just beat one Argentinian. Maybe go beat up fucking Ponzi. That should be kind of funny. Dalby. There's some options for Jake. I don't know if he should fight Neil, but there's a lot of other options for him, like just to go down Lewis Bryan battle, Renat. I guess Neil Magny, Dalby, Ponzinibbio, fucking Oban Elliott. There's a lot of good options for Jake. It's just which one do they give him. I like either Ponzi or Oban Elliott. Which one do I like more there? I don't know. I think I like Jake versus Oban because I think Ponzi should just fight some old dudes. Him and Chiesa or him and Dalby would be really cool. So that leaves not really many other options, and I think him and Oban Elliott would be kind of fucking neat. I think that's a really fun fight. I don't remember who I said Oban should fight after his last one. I'll look, but if they're already booked, then I think him and fucking Jake Matthews would be really fucking intriguing. So I'm down to see it. The Welsh gangster and the Celtic kid. I'm down. And then you can leave the old dudes to fight each other, maybe do a little fucking tournament here. So, yeah, I think I like that. I think Oban Elliott and Jake Matthews, that'd be a fucking banger. So, a real test for Oban. Let's do it. Oban and Jake. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Outside of that, not very much else to say about this fight. Again, could not have went any more as expected. Jake just being the smarter, better fighter for 15 minutes. And, yeah. Not really a stupid booking to begin with, and in hindsight, still stupid booking. So, but what isn't stupid booking is this fight idea for Jake Matthews, and like I said, I like the idea of him and Oban Elliott. I think that's a really, really good fight. And that's a cool fucking Apex main card fight, or even fight night featured prelim, whatever, main card or pay-per-view prelim. Like whenever they do their pay-per-view in London later in the year, that would be a dope ass fight. So something along those lines would be awesome, and I like it. So let's see it. Jake Matthews, Oban Elliott, book it. So, and then Prado, we'll see if he gets cut or if he gets one more chance. I would give him one more chance, but we'll see. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Great performance by Jake Matthews, as expected, and a Jake Matthews win is going to be pretty dominant, but not exciting, but not bad, and predictable as fuck. Good way to start the main card. Good way to finally get a pick right. Took a while. Thank you, Jake Matthews, for giving me an easy prediction and a nice win. Now go fight Oban Elliott. Fine way to open the main card, but I still would have put, even on paper, like this would have been better on the main card on paper. But what do I know? After that, we go to our second fight of the night, our draw of the night. Oh boy, how the fuck does he do it again? How? That's almost a miracle. I'm not gonna say a lot here since this was a draw, but this was a banger at the same time. As in our second fight of the main card, we had Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. How the fuck did Jimmy Crute have another draw? Like, how? How do you do? Having one draw in your career is hard. 2 in 3 fights. You fucking psychopath. So the long story short of this fight is Crute beat the shit out of Bellato in round 1. Held him on the ground. Well, Bellato took himself down like a dumbass. And when he did get up late in round 1, he did get dropped like pretty quickly. So I look at that as a 10-8 round. And then for the last 10 minutes of the fight, Bellato kind of pieced up Crute for 10 minutes, and winning round 1 by 10-8, losing the last 2 by 10-9. What does that mean, kids? 28-28 draw. How the fuck did you do it again, Jimmy? You fuck. Yeah. Bellato, what a comeback by Bellato from getting 10-8 in round 1 to fucking winning the last 2 rounds. Dude, Bellato ain't fucking human. He did the same shit against Ihor. He was actually able to finish Ihor. So, and these dudes, and not like they didn't fight for the last 10 minutes. They threw leather for 10 minutes. Just no one went down. Which is fucking insane, so. What a fight. Great fight. My pick for 5 of the night, but I get why I went to Steele and Rongzhu. I'm not upset about that. What a fight. Great fucking fight. Respect to both guys. And I wonder what they're going to do next here, so. Not really a lot to say, because I don't really think a lot has changed with these two, because the draw, I don't know where you go from here. So, we'll see. The only thing I gotta say about both guys, Jimmy did look good, but he definitely better than he did look in his last fight, but I still don't think he's that great. I still think he loses to a lot of guys at light heavyweight, and Bellato is not human. That dude's head is fucking made out of stones, because he somehow should be 0-2 in the UFC, and somehow he's 1-0-1, because he just won't die. So, psychopaths. Great fight, and now I don't know what you do. Do you have him rematch like Menifield and Crute? Do you cut Crute and move on? Do you, I don't know. I don't know what you do here. I'm down for a rematch. I'm never gonna complain about a rematch of a great fight. So I'm down for a rematch, but if they don't run a rematch, I'm not upset about it, because I could just see him being tired of Jimmy Crute at this point. So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The best Crute has looked in a while, but still not a win. So, we'll see what happens if they rebook this fight and do it again later in the year, during the summer. Sweet. If not, if they move on from Crute, or they just put these two in 2 different fights, also cool. Whatever they want to do. Let's wait and see. Not very much I would say. Great fight. Somehow Jimmy Crute has another fucking draw. And, Bellato's not human. Not very much I would say. We'll see what happens, because I really don't know. You could do a lot of different things from here. We'll just see what the UFC wants to do. After that, we go to our only finish on the main card, which is sad. But it was a quick one at that, and very impressive. As in our 3rd fight of the main card, we head to heavyweight for a 35-second fight between Tallison Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Well, this was kind of impressive, even for heavyweight standards. Though, long story short, Tallison tried to go in on a takedown, got Tafa against the cage, eventually elbowed him hard right in the nose. Tafa dropped down in fetal position, ate a few shots, and the fight was over. And again, I think it was a good stoppage. And that was that. Wow, to do that to Justin Tafa is impressive. The only other guy to do that was Yorgan De Castro, and that was fucking 8 years ago. So, even in all of Tafa's losses, he's not been KO'd in a while. So, and in that fashion, of an inside elbow, something you don't see at heavyweight often. Interesting. He might have broke his nose, to be honest. That shit was right on his nose. Might not be only broken nose tonight. So, crazy. I get it's Justin Tafa, who's awful, but I've not seen many people do that to Justin Tafa. Again, for as terrible as Justin Tafa is, it's not easy to finish him. So, respect to Teixeira, man. Like, I get it was kind of a more... I get he didn't knock him out, but it's more of a TKO, I would guess. But, still, impressive. Probably shattered his fucking nose. Impressive. Heavyweight has a new interesting prospect. For a fight until he gets beat by fucking trash. But, well, that's for a later date. So. Great debut for Teixeira. Can't really do much better than that. And, yeah, to do that to Justin Tafa. Impressive. Do talk about each fighter real quick. Again, flawless debut by Teixeira. Can't really do much better than that. Excuse me. And, let's see how far this kid can go. He's 25 years old. He's the size of a goddamn NBA center. And, let's see what this kid can do. Glover's son might have some potential. A heavyweight needs anyone it can get. So maybe this guy is one of the next ones up. We'll see. Beating Justin Tafa in the way he did is a nice start. And then to talk about Justin Tafa, not really a lot to say. It's Justin Tafa. We all know he's not good, but again, he's only ever been KO'd one other time, so it's not an easy thing to do. So, not the easiest thing in the world to do, so. And that one was 2 minutes long, so, yeah, not a lot to say about Tafa. Is he good? Fuck no. But is he a tough guy to finish? Yeah. So, not really much else to say. Will they cut him? Probably not. I think they still want to give him another shot or two. I think they do like Tafa a lot. And we'll see what happens. I would be a little shocked if they cut him, since they really don't have a heavyweight Aussie right now. Tuivasa's 300 pounds, and Justin Jr. Tafa's not that good. So... We'll fucking see what happens there. We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, not really much else to say about that. We'll see what they do with the bad man. Probably one more chance for the bad man. And outside of that, only thing left to say is, who should they fight next? For Tallison, hell, he might get a top 10 fight for all we know after this. He might be main eventing in the Apex. But if we're thinking logically, which the UFC never does, let alone with heavyweight, who could Tallison fight? There's some options for him. Not Junior Tafa. As much as that'd be funny, that'd be a step backwards. Like, we're trying to think of a step up from Tafa. Johanna Denise, maybe. Romanov's cut Delima wouldn't make sense. Does he go beat up Tai Tuivasa? No. Yeah, probably Johanna Denise makes the most sense. He's somehow in the top 15, I think. And coming off a bad loss. And those two are good strikers. I doubt they train together. Yeah, I know they only say they're Brazilian, but you never fucking know. I've made the mistake too many times with fight ideas. But, yeah, Tallison and Denise probably makes the most sense. Not seeing any, like, again, unless you feed Tai Tuivasa to him for no fucking reason. Or, yeah, like, everyone else coming off of losses or are booked. So what, are you gonna give him goddamn Chris Barnett for no reason? Or Hamadi? So, yeah, probably Johanna Denise would make the most sense. So, book it. Denise and Teixeira. That sounds like a really fun fucking fight. That someone's gonna hit the canvas, and so, book it. Not very much else to say. Great debut for Teixeira. Can't really look much better than that. And who should he fight next? I like him and Johanna Denise. I think that'd be a really fun fight. Again, two guys who are not gonna shoot a takedown, just gonna go in there and brawl. Let's see which big man goes down. So book it. And for Tafa, heal up, and we'll see you when we see you, probably. Can we get him and Chris Barnett finally? Please? Yeah, wishful thinking. Whatever. Good quick fight. Definitely something we needed on this main card. 5 decisions would have been fucking dreadful. But we didn't get that. We got one 35-second elbow. So, thank you, Teixeira. Great debut. Maybe heavyweight's new prospect. We'll see. Great debut for Tallison, Teixeira. Now we get into business. Now we get into titles. Now we get into the big stuff. And now we get into dominations, because that's what these fights were. And we will begin in the women's strawweight division with the title on the line in the co-main event of the evening for a fight that I and a lot of people were badly wrong on, as we had for the undisputed UFC strawweight championship of the world, Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. Weili, I'm sorry for ever disrespecting you and thinking you're gonna lose. God, Weili's so fucking good. Holy fuck. I was wrong. Badly wrong. For 25, well, in round 1, Tatiana won, but that doesn't really matter. For 20 minutes after that, Weili just did whatever the fuck she wanted and embarrassed Tatiana. She beat her on the feet. She beat her on the ground. She fucking did whatever she wanted. Wow. I was wrong. Again, sorry, Weili, for ever counting you out and disrespecting you. I'll never do it again. I swear. She's the best in the world. I don't have anything else to say about the fight. It was not a fight. It was almost hard to watch at times. So, damn. I don't even got much to say. I'm sorry, Weili. You are the best female fighter in the world. I've been saying that for a while, but yeah, she's the best female fighter in the world. That simple. No one's better. She's well-rounded. She can beat you anywhere. She has the cardio, the striking, the power, the grappling, the submission game. She can do everything. She can beat anybody. And her time at strawweight seems done. It's time for her to go get that second belt, which I think she gets easy. I think she smokes Valentina and Manon. So, I don't know who can beat Weili at this point. I truly don't. If Tatiana couldn't even fucking scratch her, who the fuck's gonna give her a fight? I don't know. I love Jandiroba. She's fucking cool, but that might go even worse. So, Weili's just the best, and she's 35 years old, man. And she looks like she's not even getting close to slowing down. First ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, getting close to the greatest strawweight of all time. 1 or 2 more wins and you can make the case. She's amazing. She's fucking amazing, and I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. For Tatiana, I'm not gonna, this is not an excuse, it's just what I think. She got this title shot too late. She's 34 years old. She coming off a 1.5 layoff. If she got this title shot around this time in 2019, when she was still fucking not made out of goddamn glass, she might have won, especially against Rose and Andrade. But now in 2025, after every injury, leg, body, neck, head, whatever the fuck else she's had, I just think she got too late. Do I think she can beat Weili? Yes. In her prime, I think she could beat Weili. But at this point, I don't know. I don't think anyone can. Let alone, I don't think she can. So, I think she should just retire at this point. Because now what? You just lost for the first time. You're 34 years old. You barely fight. What's the point of coming back in 2027 after another 2-year layoff at 36? She just retire. That's what I think is the best move for her. I truly think the best move for her is just to retire. Which sucks, because I like Tatiana. She's had a great story. But she didn't get to finish the story. Her book got fucking closed and burned. which sucks because she had fucking cancer, and she beat that shit and became one of the best female wrestler in the world. But she just got too many injuries. She's like the Beat, but they would actually come back. And we see what happened. So maybe the Beat did the right thing. So I feel bad for her, because I do think and at one point in time she was the best and would have won the belt. But in 2025, 34 years old, after every injury you can have, I think she needs to retire. Which sucks, but that's what I think. It sucks, but I guess that's the reality of the sport. Now, the only thing left to say is who should they fight next for Weili. She should fight the winner of Valentina versus Manon. Who else is there for her to fight at strawweight? Jandiroba? I do think Jandiroba deserves it, but do you really think she has a chance? No. And if Jan beats her, then that's even more perfect for Weili to move up, so... And I don't think anyone can complain about this move up, because she's lapped the goddamn division. Beat her. Like, she would smoke her. So, it's time for her to go get that second belt, which I think she gets with ease. So, Weili versus the winner of Valentina Manon. Book it. And for Tatiana, retire. I hate to say that, but retire. Not very much else to say. Weili is the best female fighter in the world. If she's not pound for pound one by Tuesday, there's bullshit going on. She should already be, let alone after this. She's looked better than Valentina. She is better than Valentina. Better wins than Valentina. More impressive than Valentina. Would beat Valentina. Let's give her that number one spot. She deserves it. You know it. I know it. Dana, you know it. Do it. Great performance by the champ. Sorry to ever disrespect you and count you out like that. And, who should they fight next? Weili should fight the winner of Valentina Manon, and Tatiana should retire. Which is sad to say, but it's true. Great performance by the champ. Doing what she does best. And the champion has a name. And it looks like it's gonna be forever. Zhang Weili. And now for the main event of the evening. The rematch from UFC 297. 1 year and a month, 1 year and 1 month later. From Canada to Sydney. From champions to challengers. Both got a win since. Now they're ready to run it back again. And they did. And it did not go the same. And then our main event of the evening for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship of the world. To end UFC 312, we had the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world. Still Knox, Dracus, Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland 2. Speaking of domination, how did Weili's performance look close compared to this? Yeah, you've heard by now, Dracus beat the shit out of Strickland. Like, badly. 50-45. 49-46 if you're being super nice. Wow. I did not really know what to expect from this fight. And I don't know if I expected 50-45, because I know I didn't. I know I did not expect that. Again, just like the Weili fight, what do you want me to say? Dracus beat the shit out of him for 25 minutes. 1 or 2 rounds were a little close, but even if you gave Strickland 2 rounds that were close, he still lost 3 rounds. So, Dracus for 25 minutes beat the shit out of him. round 1 and 2 were kind of close, and then round 3 started, and it was just not close anymore. Round 4, where he smashed his nose into goddamn pieces, and round 5, when they were both tired and just wanted this fight to end, and finally the bell rang, and all you hear is "and still 50-45 should have been across the board. Dracus du Plessis still champion." I did not expect him to fucking destroy him like that. If Dracus was gonna win, I did not think it'd be that. If either guy was gonna win, I did not think it'd be that one-sided, and it was completely one-sided. Dracus just learned how to fight Strickland since the first fight, and he fought him perfectly. It wasn't as good as their first fight, not competitive-wise, but it was just Dracus fighting a guy who does the same shit that's super predictable. It was no different from, what we see from Strickland every time out, just this time the guy actually knew how to fight back, and Dracus fought back and kicked his ass. So, I don't know. I truly don't know. I'll get into what I gotta say about Strickland in a second, but, goddamn, Dracus is good. I don't got much else to say about the fight. It was fucking domination. I don't know what you can even say about Dracus at this point. If he hasn't earned your respect yet, I don't know what he has to do that. The dude's fucking great. He's so fucking good. It's silly how good he fucking is. Striking, wrestling, submission game, power, cardio, fight IQ. What the fuck else does he need? He's so fucking good compared to the rest of middleweight. It's silly. But I say that, now we could see him really tested. Because he's gonna fight Khamzat next. And holy shit, I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. Khamzat, Dracus. Thank God it's not Khamzat Strickland to be so lame. Khamzat and Dracus. A lot of explosive elements are gonna hit each other, and something's gonna happen. I don't know what, but fuck if I'm not excited to find out. Ooh boy, it's gonna be interesting. Dracus, man, one of the best in the world, so fucking good. With all the respect, man. And then for Sean Strickland, this is the end of the road for him, I think. People are tired of his shit. People are legit tired of his shit. We're tired of this guy who during fight week, I'm gonna bleed for you guys, there's gonna be a war, and then fucking stands up like a fucking dickhead for 25 minutes and does stupid teep kick, stands straight up with his stupid fucking stance, and does teep kicks and jabs for 25 minutes. We're done. This was your chance to fight differently, and you fought like the same bum you always fight like. We're done. We're done with this. Go back to the Apex. You're not a pay-per-view guy. You can sell pay-per-view, but hopefully by now people are finally done fucking falling for this bullshit. We know how you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight like a fucking boring coward who just fucking teep kicks and jabs. We're done. 2023 Strickland is special, but now it's just old. His gimmick is old. His fighting style is old. It's over. We're done. We've had enough. We don't want to see it anymore. Done. It's that simple. We don't want to see him jab and teep kick around a cage for 25 minutes. We don't put him in another 5-rounder. Don't put him on another title fight or a main event. He can co-main a pay-per-view, cool. 3 rounds. No more. We're done. We're done. The MMA community is done with this guy who talks the talk, can't walk the walk, can't back it up. We're tired of it. Enough. Thank you. Now the last thing to say, I've already talked about who they're fighting next. Dracus is gonna fight fucking Khamzat. We all know it. We all can't wait. Book it. For Strickland, I do have a fight idea for him, and it does make sense. He should rematch Nasruddin. which I said last week, the Nasruddin should fight the loser of Strickland Drakus, and Strickland's the loser, so let's run it back. Strickland and Imavov 2. Imavov's coming off beating Izzy, Strickland's coming off a bad loss. Let Strickland heal up till probably later in the year, and then probably Strickland, Imavov, November? December? Main, cool pay-per-view co-main. Sounds good to me. Let's run it back. So, yeah, not very much else to say there. This rivalry is over, just like we're over Sean Strickland. We're done. It happened. 2023 Strickland is special. Not anymore. So, we're done. Outside of that, not very much else to say. Great performance by Drakus. Best he's, most flawless he has fucking looked. And, who should they fight next? We all know we're gonna get Drakus and Hamzat, which is gonna be fucking beautiful. I'm so excited. And I say Strickland should fight Imavov. Makes most sense, so do it. Not really anything else to say. Drakus is so fucking good. And now, he has to fight the Wolf. If I didn't know what's gonna happen in this fight, fuck if I know who. I don't even know if I'm gonna put a pick in for that, because I want to sit back and watch. I can't wait. Drakus, Hamzat, book it. God, I'm excited. And what, October? That's when they usually go to fucking Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi for a pay-per-view, so sounds perfect. Drakus, Hamzat, book it. Strickland, Imavov 2, book it. Middleweight's getting interesting again. Thank God. And thank God, and thank God I can finally say that was the card. The recap is done. Only an hour and a half. I thought this was going to be a shorter recap since this is Sunday afternoon, but it's me, so yeah. To go over how I did on picks, 4 of 12, 3 perfect, 300. I did fucking terrible. Somehow, in last week, I go almost perfect, barely getting 1 wrong, to barely being able to get 4 right. Fuck, I don't even think I made bad picks. Either they didn't fight, or they got cuddled, or fucking a few I just got wrong. But some just got cuddled, and then Bellato had a fucking draw. If I could have had a 5 right, but fucking idiot. So, bad night of picks. Seems like no one did good on picks, though. Seems like a lot of people kind of had a bad night of predictions. So, it was just one of those cards. Just one of those cards, it seems. But, what can you do? I'm going to have good nights of picks, and more than likely I'm going to have more bad nights of picks, so that's what I had here. So, what can you do? The bonuses went to 5 of the night, Kody, Steele, and Rongzhu, as I've said, and then performance of the night to Teixeira and Salkilld. Yeah, I think that's, like I said, I would have gave 5 of the night to Bellato and Crute, but I guess if you don't want to give it to a draw, then the next best option is clearly, fucking Rongzhu and Kody, Steele, so, yeah, I'm happy they didn't force a bonus to fucking, Gabriel Santos or some bullshit. I'm happy the guys who actually deserved it got it, so good for them. And the second last thing, if you missed a card, what should you go back and rewatch? The whole early prelims, they were great. And I would say the last 4 fights of the main card. You could completely skip the prelims if you want. If you want to check this out, you can. I don't think it was that great, but it was okay. Skip all of this. And, well, if you want to see how Topuria looks, you can watch it. This and Santos, or if you want. Skip this, trust me. Have you seen a Jake Matthews fight? You know what that fight's like. If not, check it out if you want. But what would I go back and rewatch? The early prelims and the last 4 fights in the main card. Everything in the middle, that's up to you. Besides this, you skip these 2 fights, trust me. So, yeah. And then lastly, what's the chopping block for this card? I'll just say Anshul Jubli. I'm not really I don't know who else you'd cut. I don't think you cut Jousset. I obviously know. You can make a case for Bruna. You don't cut Slava. You don't cut Jenkins. I don't think you cut Prado yet. I don't think you cut Crute, but we'll see. I don't think you should cut Tafa. Tatiana should retire, and Strickland no. So, the most I would say is the chopping block, Anshul Jubli, and the retirement block should have Tatiana Suarez. But outside of that, you got a few guys who could get cut, but I don't know if they will be or should be, so yeah. And that's UFC 312 done. Again, I stick by what I said. I thought this card was forgettable. And by this time in 2 weeks, do you guys really remember anything outside of the top 2 fights and maybe Teixeira and Salkilld and all that? No. There was good moments on the card. Drakus, Weili, Teixeira, Bellato, Salkilld, Steele, bangers. But then the bad was just so fucking bad. So it was a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. I think that's the best. Like, I can't give it a 5. I just can't. But I can't. It's not a 3. I give it a 4 out of 10. Forgettable. Some good on it. Some bad on it. A weird, forgettable night in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. But with that in the books, we finally can move on to UFC Vegas 103. Or 2. I don't remember. Great. Not looking forward to that either. Cannoneer and RoboCop's a great main event. Outside of that, that's gonna be a long night. So, but you'll hear me break that down Friday, like always, and then sometime on Sunday, like always. So, yeah. Again, sorry for the late recap. I'm shocked I'm doing this at all. I thought it was gonna be coming out Monday morning. But I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this for you guys. I'm starting to sound like Strickland. I'm getting this recap out. I'll do it during the afternoon. I don't care. I'm getting this recap out on Sunday. And guess what I'm doing? Getting this recap out on Sunday. So, I hope you enjoy. For you motherfuckers. For you fucking guys. But for when I say it, I actually mean it. So, yeah. Outside of that, not very much I'll say again. Sorry for the late recap. I'll try not to do it again next week. I think it's a little bit earlier for cards, so we'll see. It's an Apex card, so who gives a fuck even if I didn't do a recap for it. Yeah. UFC 312, done and dusted. And we move on to the Apex. Fuck. Oh, Christ. Whatever. That's all I gotta say about that. The only thing I have left to say is I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2025. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I'd be shocked if I am after an hour and 42 goddamn minutes, as always, sorry for the late recap. As always, I forgot my lines for a second. RX out. Good vibes only. And always, fuck the Chiefs.